Good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all? Good to see all of you. Hope you're having a great Saturday. I am pretty pumped for this deadline stream just because it's my first one since Bahrain and I think we've got a lot to get through in these next 2 hours. So I hope you're all doing well. Great to see some of you in the chat, in the live stream already. Nixie, Ethan, Troubled Bones, Mayank, good to see you guys back. Disco Heat, one of the regulars. Great to have all of you guys back. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks at least since I was last live before the deadline, but I'm pretty excited for what today looks like in terms of just content, answering your questions, figuring out whether Limitless for my team makes sense. If it doesn't, so be it. But I think we got plenty of options on the table. So as always, I sound like a broken record, but throw a like on the stream, guys. I'll answer every single one of your questions. I do a pretty good job. I'd like to think of getting through that through the 2 hours. And yeah, it's been a pretty interesting last, I'd say 24 hours for F1 Fantasy. Lots to unpack from free practice, sprint qualifying, and yeah, looking forward to getting into some questions. I think the chat on the screen is like a delayed, I think it's a delayed stream if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be. There we go. Hopefully it updates, but if not, I can fix that. It should refresh. Yeah. So yeah, we'll go through some questions, unpack everything we need to know about Limitless. So let me, how do I hide that? There we go. So we'll start with some questions. Nixie, yeah, good to have you back, mate. Things are good here. I think, would you Limitless a team of Piastri, Behrman, Ocon, Hadjar, Bortoleto, McLaren, Mercedes? I think I would. Yeah, I think I would. None of those guys are expected to drop. I think if you're carrying a Gasly or a Doohan, I think that's a separate discussion, but that's about as good. And I think Ethan tends to agree with that. So yeah, I hope there's not too much lag because I'm getting some warnings on the dashboard here, but hopefully you guys are seeing everything. I've made a few changes to overlays, so hopefully that's all cooperating because I know things can really, when you change things to your streams and such, I'm a bit of a dinosaur with this. It can definitely throw the buffering or the makeup of the stream. All right, so yeah, get to the questions, Rob. Get to the questions. Do the decent thing. 237 of you already in here, so great to see and speak to all. All right, so Ferrari not looking great. I think Mercedes feel like the best option right now. Personally, in terms of just what we've seen, obviously Kimi Antonelli on sprint pole, so pretty pumped about that. I think there's also like George Russell, he's in the mix. McLaren, pretty good. So yeah, I think Ferrari feel I can avoid, unless of course you have reservations about the ride height of Mercedes, whether or not there's a risk of a disqualification. I think there was a bit of chatter around that yesterday actually, because the car looks so quick. Mercedes was so quick, and I was surprised Kimi took pole. I don't think anyone would have called that. You know, George Russell's looked good in qualifying, but I don't think I would have even foreseen someone like Kimi snatching pole out of nowhere. So yeah, pretty impressive stuff for Mercedes. All right, let's knock some of these out. I'm not worried about disqualification. Imola Limitless, perfectly sound. That's what I'm doing at this point. I got my best Limitless team bottom left-hand corner of the screen to give you an idea of, I think, what I would be doing. My team 2 is on Limitless. I'll show that in a bit, but this is my team 1 currently. Miami weather forecast. I've not given that too much thought. I do think the weather certainly plays into using Limitless, and maybe I'm not letting it affect my decision making too much, but I do suspect there's some hesitation for wanting to go down that path, just simply because of it naturally being an extra session of risk, DNFs. With weather, I want to, when I'm using the Limitless chip, make sure there's as very few risks as possible when it comes to playing the chip, what that means for my team, etc. So that's why I'm currently, again, giving myself one extra excuse not to with the weather. I don't think it's enough at the moment for people to be deterred by using Limitless with the weather, though. Thanks, Claudio. Much appreciated, my friend. Is there substance to worries about Merck's ride height? Yeah, I don't think it's enough to again, as I said, discourage people from using Limitless. I think if you've got Gasly or Doohan, I'd think more seriously about whether or not it's worth it, to be honest. Is it worth to go all in on McLaren and Mercedes? Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably worth doing. I'll get my team 2 up. This is my team 2 on the left-hand side here. I think the 3X on is probably something I'd consider holding. I just think if you're using Haas as that second constructor just to have Piastri and Russell, you're probably sacrificing a few points you could otherwise have later in the season. Glad to know there's no lag, guys, as well. Thank you. Best B tier assets to rise 2 in a row. I think Lawson. I'm probably going, as you can see here, Gasly to Lawson. I think Lawson, then Alonso, then Ocon. I think Ocon's scores the last 2 weeks are going to be to his detriment in Imola and Monaco. We saw him qualify, where was he? Like 13th yesterday in the sprint quali. So I don't know necessarily if that's like great for someone like Ocon, because he'll probably just sit around there. He's done well and best in F1 Fantasy when he's been at the very back. So I don't think that's... I think it's probably Lawson, Alonso, Ocon for me. Limitless for Ferrari, yeah, do that. I think that works well, Alex. Love from New York to you in Brazil, Bernardo. Thank you for dropping by. Albon's great. Yeah, Albon's someone I talked about in my final thoughts. I'm not ruling him out. I've got Gasly, Lawson on the screen here, but I'm very much considering Alex Albon as well in for Ollie Behrman. Jackson's wanting to get off Gasly, Doohan. I think Bortoletto, Ocon. Yeah, Limitless. Yeah, I think go Bortoletto and Lawson, to be honest. Jackson, I would go Lawson over Ocon and Limitless in Miami. Limitless in Imola. Best Limitless team, as I said, bottom left for anyone who doesn't have an idea. I think I'd probably be Limitlessing if you're using Haas or V-Cub from the previous race. And yeah, Doohan and Gasly, if you're running them, I think again it's probably worth reassessing if Limitless is the right chip for you this week. Haas is the best B tier constructor. Yeah, I know. Signs was recommended. I actually overruled that. When I went through the team calculator earlier, I was looking at some team combinations. Albon was actually the third one for me. I'm very, very I think this is very appetizing. So when I was going through the drives, I cut Signs out because he's going to drop again. And then obviously Gasly because I'm removing him. So yeah, I think that's the direction I go. And yeah, I mean, questions around the weather and Imola obviously having rain and the risk, like there's an absolute risk of people like Hadjar or Behrman having a DNF this week, and that completely F's you up for using Imola in Miami, because obviously then with how the budget builder works, you have to, I don't want this one, I just want the required points. With how the budget builder works, like it's very unlikely if they get a DNF in either the sprint or the race, so Hadjar, Behrman, Lawson, Alonso, whoever it might be, I just don't see them making up the delta in the other session they don't DNF. So like any midfield driver that DNFs this race, like that really screws you for building budget on Limitless in Imola if you choose to go down that route. Shane, man, FPL veteran, great to have you here. Hope you're well. I'd take Albon. I wouldn't go Sainz, Jamil. I've got my eye on Sainz for after Limitless in Imola. I very much like once Sainz's DNF in Bahrain drops off, he for me is going to be probably one of the most popular template picks, but he's a couple races away from becoming mainstream. Should we go Lawson or Alonso? I think Lawson for budget building. Bortoletto or Ocon? I would go Bortoletto just because he won't drop in price. Is anyone using the no negative chip? I don't know many, but I think if, again, you have concerns about the wet weather on Saturday, Sunday, I mean, I'm not even in Miami, so I don't know. I think there's more of a concern around the wet weather tomorrow, though. Sorry, I keep losing this mark. And then the chat refreshes. I need to be better at that. I'm going to pop this over here so I don't have to... Oh, no, what did I do? What did I do? I just threw the alignment off entirely. Anyway, that's just the beauty of navigating how to stream when you're not very familiar with it. All right, where are we in the chat? Do you think it's a good... Yeah, I mean, I think it's nice seeing you, Nico. I think non-sprint weekends are fine for Limitless, but it's got to be a non or a low overtake track. So that's why Imola, Monaco are great for it. I wouldn't be using it probably in the... I wouldn't be using it in Spain. I wouldn't be using it in Canada. I wouldn't be using it in Austria. Maybe Silverstone. But if these three races, I think particularly the next two, are going to be probably the most popular weekends for Limitless this season. So yeah. What else have we got? What will you do with a current lineup of Piastri, Russell, Hadjar, Hülkenberg, Doohan, McLaren, Kick Sauber? Kick Sauber. I haven't seen too many people running them. I'd probably... Kick Sauber will most likely drop. Doohan would most likely drop. I'd probably, Anthony, if you've got wildcard, either use that or use all three transfers to get out Kick Sauber, Doohan, Hülkenberg. I'd honestly give thought to ripping up part of that team. Kick Sauber, Hülkenberg, Doohan, I'd move them out. Maybe even Russell as well, and get in like Mercedes for this week, and then use Limitless next. Because if you use Limitless in Miami, Anthony, I think you're bound to lose more value than what it's worth, the points. Ethan, what do you think doing Piastri, Norris, McLaren, Alpine, 3X? It's an excellent differential. I just think it's a bit of a... Yeah, I just don't love... I'm just not on board myself with using the 3X this early in the season. That's just my personal preference. But like, I always stress to like play your own game and do it kind of how you want to play it, not because, you know, a certain person on the internet tells you to. Abdullah's, yeah, I think I agree. If your team's set up for Limitless, if they're all expected to rise, then I'd 100% be using it. Would you have Alonso or Hulkenberg? I'd have Alonso. Have the same team as your part of Ocon, not Gasly. If I had Ocon, I think I'd probably be more towards, I'd probably be 75% limitless, 25% non-limitless, but because I got Gasly, I think my thought process here around, I'll just put my team up again so people are not wondering what I'm doing. I think for me personally, it wholly comes down to that risk profile of, if I have a driver that DNF'd in Saudi Arabia or went down in price and is expected to go down in price again in Miami, sure, I've got, like, let's say, for example, Gasly. I've got Gasly in my team. He's going to go down in value. I could use Limitless here in Miami. I could just eat that 0.6 million price drop and then move on to a non-limitless team in Imola. I guess for me, if I bring in Lawson and say Behrman or Hadjar DNFs this weekend, like, I'm hoping no more than one driver in my team DNFs this weekend. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's impossible to avoid them. So the thought process here is, it's already raining in Miami and I've already got a driver in my team that's about to DNF, or about to go down in price, I should say. Imola's probably going to rain. Imola's probably going to, it's more than likely I'm going to have a driver in my team that is expected to drop in price then as well. So for me, it's kind of net zero difference. I think if your team's set up for 4 or 5 price rises in the driver and both constructors, then I think it's a no-brainer. Sure, the delta is not going to be maybe as good as it could be in Imola, Monaco, Saudi Arabia, but I think if your team is expected to go up in price across the board, your non-limitless team, then I think why not, right? How many points would Albon need to increase in Imola and Monaco if he gets a 0.2 this weekend? I don't know, sorry. I know there's been analysis done, F1 Fantasy Tools, the Discord, there's plenty of good stuff on that as well, but I think Albon would probably need to get close to the max rise to obviously have his average beefed up a bit, so he doesn't need to score as many in subsequent weeks. I'd almost prefer Albon to go up if I had him this week. Like, obviously I'd love to see a 0.6 rise, but like, get a very high points basis, but not the full price rise, so then I can hopefully capitalize on that in future weeks. Lawson or Alonso? I think Lawson, for me personally. There is risk with Alonso. Yeah, of course there is. I think also because he's a high qualifier, better qualifier. I think like that might serve him well in Monaco, where you just won't get overtakes, but I think Lawson's got higher upside this weekend personally, and a lower threshold too. So I think for me, that's why I'm leaning towards him. Russell will drop if he will rise, the minimum rise. He probably could get 33. I think he could go up 0.3. Sorry, Matt, I think I missed your... Sorry, I've missed a few. I'm usually better than this. Who do you pick as the 5th driver? I'd go Lawson. Sorry, Matt, I missed your question. 112 budget with Mercedes, McLaren, Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Gasly. Need to get rid of Pierre. I think get rid of Gasly for Lawson. Lawson or Alonso? Lawson. I think Guats. I got Hadjar, Piastri, Behrman, Ocon, Bortoletto, McLaren, Mercedes. No idea what to change. I'd go Limitless that. What do you think makes it worth to use Limitless on one team versus another? I think it comes down to how many assets you've got going up. Like, as I said before, my team two is on Limitless because all of those guys are going to rise in price this week, assuming no DNFs, whereas my other team has Gasly. So it's kind of also, my number 2 team is, in fact, well positioned for a good rank this year. As usual, my team 2 always outscores my team 1, which is probably a nice time to jump on over to the beta for F1 Fantasy Tools and their League Analyzer. It's a new tool they've just released. Open to feedback at the bottom of this page. Essentially what this does, I'll spend 2 minutes on it and we'll get straight back to the questions, is for this new tool, you can find out Hindsight's coming soon, which I've talked to them about. Very cool tool in the works. You can just see all of the how your league stacks up each week after each race. It's essentially what you see in the proper F1 website, but it does provide a nice little overview of everyone in this in whatever league. So like this one, for example, it's the content creator league I'm in. So you probably know Tom from Pop Pan Man, F1 Fantasy Tools. Sorry, it's a bit laggy. So Terry from Coffee Corner Motorsport, F1 Fantasy Tips. My team, I don't know who Team 6 is because I think Ewan set this up. Fantasy Homebase from Twitter. Like 2 of my teams are in the top 10. I think it's a 15 or 20 team league. God, it's my website is a bit laggy today. I'm not sure why. I think it could be just so many windows are open. So like the beauty of this tool is you just copy in the league from the website and it'll spit out all the teams up to the top 10, and you can obviously choose. So these are the top 10, and Zach, Ewan, Tom's main team, Ewan's third team, Rain. This is my main team, the one that's doing the worst as per usual. So like everyone's in here for this league, but yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. So just keep that in mind if you want to test out the great features of F1 Fantasy Tools. And my discount code is in the description of the video. So if you want to have access to all the premium amenities over there on F1 Fantasy Tools, check that out. All right, Daniel, Piastri, Hadjar, Behrman, Sainz, Ocon, McLaren, Haas. I'd use Limitless, Daniel. If you're carrying Haas, I'd absolutely be using Limitless this week. Radio Paddock, usual guest on the channel. McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Alonso, Ocon, Hadjar, Behrman. Looks good, mate. I think if you've got Ocon, Andrew, I'd just use that. Maybe I answered these. Again, losing my mark in the chat. What non-Limitless team? I just get rid of Gasly, Michael. Hi, Mike, as in OG Mike. Mike Fireman, one of the, again, regulars. Don't sleep on Ferrari. I'll be sleeping. I'll be wearing a sleep mask. I'll be having blackout curtains. I am sleeping on Ferrari this weekend. Isaac, I'd go Lawson this week, Isaac. Russell and Antonelli, or Russell and Leclerc for Limitless. Probably Antonelli right now, but that's just going off the Sims, to be honest. 490 of you in here. 129 likes. Great work, guys. Thank you for, again, just cannot stress how wonderful this is on a Saturday, just to talk absolute rubbish for a couple of hours. I know Rain's streaming. I think Zach and Adam will be on later. I'm not sure if Tom is. What's your choice for Limitless? And my choice for Limitless is on the bottom left of the screen. I'd give the 2x to Lando on Limitless because everyone will have 2x on Piastri. So I think like when you're using the Limitless chip, you obviously want to have as much difference or as much opportunity to maximize the points between what the Limitless team is you're running versus what the non-Limitless team everyone else has. So I think for me, I'm 100% putting the 2x on Lando Norris on my team too. There's not really enough for me to be dissuaded by not going down Norris on 2x. So yeah, I think that answers your question, Will, as well. Norris is my favorite. Sure, Piastri was second in sprint qualifying, and Norris was third, but I think, yeah, Norris for sure. Putting a rookie in a Limitless is rogue. Who's putting a rookie in Limitless? I wouldn't be putting rookies in Limitless. Would we be swapping Bortoletto? No, I'll be swapping Gasly per screen. Alonso's great. I think Alonso, Lawson, coin flip, to be honest. Has anyone thought of Tsunoda for overtakes? Yeah, maybe, but not. I just don't think there's a space for someone like Tsunoda. And if it was pure points, sure. But it's highly unlikely he goes up in price this week unless some miracle occurs because he had that DNF last week in Saudi. So Gasly, Tommaso's asking, sell Gasly to Alonso or Lawson? Probably Lawson. Sell also Bortoletto for both. I mean, I'm using Limitless. I just want to limit my exposure to price drops for the next 2 weeks. As soon as I use my Limitless, Bortoletto's leaving my team. Is it too risky to run Piastri, Behrman, Alonso Oh, God. How's your McLaren Mercedes Miami if I 10 doing? No, it's not risky at all, my yank. That's more or less what I'll have too. I mean, like, I don't. If you have Gasly or Doohan, like, absolutely use it. I don't think there's anything wrong with going for Limitless if you're okay with accepting Gasly's drop in price or Doohan's expected drop in price. But I personally think if you want to try and maximize the upside for budget gain and points, you want to try and time it. We can't be perfect though. I think like Adam stressed recently, I think in one of his tweets, that it's not going to be a perfect world where everything works and comes together at the same time. And people in Saudi Arabia maybe got the benefit of the doubt with that. But I personally think it's going to be just the nature of the beast where we end up going into the deadline with a driver that's going to fall in price. And you just kind of have to bite the bullet and accept that. So, yeah. I think if you're fine to wear the Gasly drop, then that's so fine. What if I have Doohan? I think Doohan's probably going to... I don't think the chat's updating again. Rob. Yeah, I think Doohan, if you've got Doohan, I'd look to move him out. I'd go Mercedes over Ferrari, Daniel. Lawson, Bortoletto, or Ocon, Bortoletto. I'd go Lawson, Bortoletto, Renan. Yeah, Void, I think that team looks good for me. Would you go Limitless or keep it to drop Doohan, Flame? Again, yeah, I think it's fine to go Limitless. But again, if you're okay with the Doohan price drop, then it's fine. Oh, yeah, right. Got it. Yep. Any chances of a Merc disqualification? I don't think so. But sprints have a much higher chance of a DNF. A disqualification, I mean to say. I mean, Josh, like, I get the hesitation to want to pull trigger on Limitless, but right now, I don't think we're going to have much more information between now and the deadline, to be honest. Like, if we're over on Twitter, I'm just going to move this over here. We going to rock down to Electric Avenue. Showers south of the track are approaching. Interesting. Rodolfo Alves is like the F1 weatherman. But my stream is, like my internet's just really suffering. Probably because I've got so many new features on the stream this week. Actually, I shouldn't be pulling that one up. I should be looking at this one. Oh, Prasanya, you're at the track. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So cloudy but no rain. Just hope it stays that way. I think, yeah. Again, I don't think it's going to be torrential rain today. So it really depends on tomorrow with how that affects the race. It just, yeah, I personally don't think there's yet enough for me to be deterred by the weather, but look, I could eat my words. I think it'll be worse tomorrow, the weather, than it will be on Sunday. Sorry, it'll be worse tomorrow, Sunday, than it will be today, Saturday, for quali and sprint race. Thoughts on Williams? Yeah, I think Albon's probably my pick of the bunch. I wouldn't be going the constructor, and I wouldn't be going Sainz. Galaxy. Behrman qualifying last. Yeah, I think that's the other thing. Like, I talked about this in my Limitless strategy guide. Please watch that if you haven't already. But the weekends where Limitless is less effective is when those midfield guys have those overtakes from the back of the grid. Behrman in the sprint race, Behrman is starting P20. Like, he for me is primed for overtakes. We know how good that race pace of the Haas is. Their qualifying pace is dreadful, but yeah, it's one of those ones. Stevie, I feel you, man. I feel you. I didn't sleep well last night. I was agonizing over my Limitless decision and FPL, and I had Marmouche as my captain in FPL. So let's just say off to a shocking start in FPL for this weekend. I think no negatives fine if you want to do that. Ali, have to get out doing in Gasly. Should I go Lawson and Alonso or Bortoletto and Lawson? I'd probably go... so it's between Bortoletto and Alonso. Ali, if you've already used Limitless, I'd go Alonso Lawson. If you haven't used Limitless and you're planning for Imola, I'd go Bortoletto. Just to navigate or mitigate the risk of possible price drops in the next couple of weeks. And then as soon as you do Limitless, then you can get out Bordeaux. I've really got to catch up. Many teams on Limitless will run Antonelli, rookie over Leclerc or Albon with points down to being tight on lower overtake. It could be genius or disaster. Yeah. That's the thing. That's why I've got on screen here Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc, pick 2, bottom left. I've also not got my team up. That's probably more important than a random tweet. And that's probably why views have dropped off in the last little bit. Let's throw up the budget builder. Team calculator. Why is Lawson so hot this weekend? Shalish, because he has an extremely low threshold for a price drop. For a price rise. I think Mercedes this week, Ethan. Antonelli Racing Bulls in 4.5. How do I change? I'd get Mercedes in Manish, but I don't know what the rest of your team looks like. I think I explained FPL rank Clarence is I've had a shocking season. I'm in the 300s. Shocking for me. I'm usually inside the top 100, which is still not amazing, but FPL's not been good for me this year. I didn't have Chris Wood through that hot streak he had in the mid part of the season, so that really hurt me. I have McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Behrman, Hadjar, Lawson, Gasly. Should I swap Gasly for Alonso or Bordeaux? Again, JR, it depends. If you've used Limitless already, I'd go Alonso. If you haven't used Limitless and you're planning to in the next couple of weeks, I'd go Bortoletto. Sim, good to have you back, mate. Which two out of Ocon, Lawson would you... Ocon, Lawson, Alonso, Bottas or Bordeaux would you choose? Which two? Again, it's Limitless dependent. If you've used it already, I'd go Lawson, Alonso. If you haven't, I'd probably go Bortoletto and Lawson. Why not Gasly, Ocon? Because I think Lawson has a better chance of a price rise. And that's the other thing I'm looking for. I think that's the other thing I just want to double check is Albon. I'd probably go Behrman over Albon, but I think Albon's a really good option too. So I want to look at so qualifying results. Behrman and Bortoletto, no brainers for me this week. So that's why Lawson. I think Lawson makes a couple passes. I think I think Hulk drops. Yeah, I think I just much prefer Lawson. It's kind of 4 extra positions, a few extra overtakes. I think he's good enough for me this week. Frankly, I have McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Hadjar, Lawson, Gasly. Should I swap Gasly? I'd go for Alonso. Yeah, I'll answer that, JR. I'm going Thomas, Mercedes over Ferrari just because Leclerc was really downbeat about what they expect from the SF25 this weekend. I think Alex, if you can't afford the top 4 constructors, unless you can move around the rest of your team, I just hold Williams or move into maybe Haas for a possible Limitless next week because they're very much guaranteed of a rise. Piastri, Bortoleto, Gasly, Hadjar. I would not Limitless Matt with Red Bull and Gasly in your team. I'd probably move out Red Bull and Gasly for Mercedes and whoever, and then Limitless in Imola. And I don't really have any idea of a Red Bull upgrade. Weather, Miami, AccuWeather. I don't have any idea of what Red Bull will look like in Imola. Sorry, just doing the weather per the request of Disco Heat. What's my team looking like this weekend? The team I had last weekend, plus the change on the screen at the bottom. I'll just look at the weather quickly for people who have asked. Simon, I've got my my favorite Limitless team bottom left. Danny, if you've got Haas, I suggest it because Haas is just going to continue to rise in price the next few weeks. And it, to me, feels like they're not going to be that great on the sprint weekend, to be honest. I just think Haas, if you don't own them, or if you do own Haas, Limitless this week makes a lot of sense. Limitless next week makes a lot of sense. And I just do not see the merit in owning them beyond Imola. Just because they're not going to make many overtakes at these low overtake tracks. Ocon, Bortoleto, or a Lawson, Alonso. Lewis, again, it's like Limitless dependent, but if you've got Limitless ready to go in Imola, then I'd go Ocon, Bortoleto. If you've already used it, Lawson, Alonso. Yeah, I think Alonso will drop too. Peter Dutton search history. Sorry, so the weather. Sorry, I'm 60% chance of rain today, but it'll just be like an hour of rain, a couple of millimeters of rain. I don't think it's going to be all too scary. It's tomorrow if the webpage wants to load. I was looking at Disco, the election results from last night or this morning. An Aussie overseas, you definitely have to keep up to speed on how crazy this world is becoming. So yeah, more rain tomorrow, 18 millimeters. So today it's like not a concern. It's tomorrow where you've got a very high chance of rain. What's it looking like in the afternoon? But that's like Miami for you, right? It's going to be a stinking hot day and it's still going to rain like an absolute MF. So I think, yeah, I mean, another reason why I'm not going to worry too much about the rain on Limitless, because it's like the more I'm already it's already raining. So Goat Brady's in Miami right now. It's already raining. So I don't need many reasons to talk me off doing Limitless this weekend, but like I'm like pretty set on not going Limitless this weekend. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing it next weekend. It's also like, well, Mercedes are looking good, McLaren are looking good. So yeah, it's would you Limitless with Doohan or take him out for Lawson and Limitless and Imola? Revision Guru, I'm doing the Lawson Imola Limitless approach. So take that with what you will. All good, Simon. All good. Would 3x good beat Yogi Bear? I wouldn't be doing 3x. Going into the weekend, I plan on saving Limitless for Imola, but should I use it for Miami? I mean, I don't think I don't think Limitless is that bad of an option because I showed Team 2 before. It did the job for me. Yeah, like I think it's fine. I'm kind of hedging my bets a little bit. So, yeah, kind of going all over the shop. All right. Mercedes this week over Ferrari, Q-Toasty, F1 Academy. Always rains in Miami, doesn't it, David? I spent 6 months there for work a few years ago. Rain might dry up before the sprint. Yeah, it might well. It might well. What would you do with $96 million budget? Start a new team. Would 3x be good with Norris, Piastri? No. I answered that. I wouldn't. Yeah, thank you, Radio Paddock. Or 200 likes, 550 of you here, 550 absolute F1 fantasy legends. So again, thank you guys for swinging by. Andre, I'd go Alonso Bortoletto. Am I missing? MV Joker, like, I think, yeah, I'd probably be going Lando or Oscar, but if I'm on Limitless, I'm going Lando 100%. Would you... Hadjar, Behrman, Ethan, I'd probably Limitless with your team. Ethan F1. Limitless of carrying a team of Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Alonso, McLaren, Mercedes. Yeah, Oscar, I think that looks like a great Limitless team. Hey, Bowie. You want to come on stream? Come on, get up. Here we go. Ooh. We got a little guest on the stream here. This is Bowie Mini Golden. She's running Limitless this week, but she's putting the 2X on Max Verstappen. Sorry, I'm not talking into the mic, but yeah, you're a good girl, aren't you? Do you want to get down? Yeah. All right. So if you like dogs, throw a like on the stream there. But yeah, Piastri's perfectly fine. Does rain make you worried about any of the rookies? Yeah, of course it does. Hey. Bowie, why Limitless? Bowie wants Bowie just loves scoring points. So yeah, she'll be probably running Limitless with a Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri, who knows. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to the marks in the chat. Yeah, I think like the rookies, I can't remember who it was that asked this. Was it Ali maybe? I think I think it's definitely a I think it's a concern for having rookies and inexperienced drivers in the team, for sure. But I do think there's I do think there's going to be some risk regardless of whether or not you use the chip or you don't. So it's a tricky one. But I think my mind's made up just because of the weather. I'd hate obviously to use Limitless and then, the drivers in your team are absolutely screwed by a DNF in the wet. I'd be more at peace if my driver from, hang on. Sorry. I'd be less disappointed if my rookie driver's DNF than if my front running driver's DNF'd, obviously on Limitless. I think Filippo, I'd be going Lawson Bortoletto for a Limitless in Miami, or an Ocon Bortoletto, probably Lawson Bortoletto. I'm not using Limitless, but my team 2, that's my team 2. No negative, yeah, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Dan2310, I would use Limitless in Miami just because of the low overtake track. So yeah, dog is absolutely locked in. All right. Dog looks like Lance Stroll. I've seen Bowie lick some windows. Dog is, yeah. I think, yeah, fair enough. Lewis goes Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Doohan, 107. I mean, Lewis with that team, I'd either move out Doohan or I'd just Limitless and go in. She wants Limitless treats. She absolutely does want Limitless treats. I think, okay, yeah, quick 2 cents on Antonelli over Leclerc. This is probably what Bowie's team would look like if she actually had a team in F1 Fantasy. But I think for me, it's more the fact that, and Tom Pophan Man made a very good point of this, last season, pre-season, and kind of in a few of his videos this season, is that we should probably be putting not a lot of stock, but some stock in how the drivers feel in the car over the weekend, and Leclerc has been pretty negative about the Ferrari this weekend specifically. He feels as though that's like the max performance that the car can extract. I've got Antonelli in at the moment, even though, and because he's expected to score more points in the simulations, he probably loses a couple positions in the sprint race. I still think Norris and Piastri, I should say, pass Antonelli. But I don't know if Leclerc has the speed in that car to make it much further than 5th, I would guess. He might pass Russell. Depends on how good Mercedes really is. Before you leave, Behrman or Ocon, I'd be going Behrman. Why do you care? Would you limitless? Piastri, Russell, Behrman, Hadjar, Ocon, McLaren, Haas. Yeah, I'd 100% Sean be... Oh, sorry, M. M for Marvel. Budget 112. Yeah, I'd be doing that. Do you think it's not a bit risky to have Antonelli? It is. Yeah, it is. It's super risky to have Antonelli on a wet weekend, but like it's going to be risky regardless. And yeah, the pressure for sure, Matt. I agree. I think it's 100%. Like Kimi was, I think, ecstatic. He obviously got that sprint pole yesterday, but he's going to be super overwhelmed. It's going to be a massive thing for him starting on the front row. Going into turn 1, it's going to be super precarious trying to fight off both of the McLarens right behind him. So, look, if he wins the sprint, that's massive for him. And with how unpredictable driver of the day has been this season, like I'd say there's a pretty solid chance Antonelli features in it, even if he has a stinking race tomorrow. People will definitely look at him on sprint pole and certainly factor that into his vote. We saw that he won driver of the day in China and had a nothing race after a great race in Australia. So like, there's every possibility Antonelli, assuming again, I think someone just mentioned risk of DQ in the chat. Like there's a possibility Antonelli and Russell, maybe are at risk of that. I don't think it's enough for me personally. And look, the other thing is misery loves company. We all have Mercedes constructor. So like if they're DSQ'd, we all go down. So Shui on stream? Not today. Luke F1 Fantasy Strategy, fellow content creator, throw him some love. He's had some great videos lately. If I can get Albon in, should I? Yeah, I mean, I'm still not ruling it out. This is, I mean, probably because Behrman's at the back, it just feels like Behrman's at the back. So I would think about, I could do this, but I'll probably end up just going Behrman, or staying with Behrman and putting in Lawson. Exactly. I think with Limitless, you want to extract the most upside as possible. I don't think you want to kind of skirt around risk mitigation. I think you want to try and get the highest score possible, and using the Limitless and piling in on 2 teams with triple ups is the best way to do that. I mean, obviously, if we take Limitless in Saudi, for example, people had it kind of spread across the 3 McLaren assets, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Charles Leclerc. So you're kind of like hedging your bets across, the top 5 drivers. But at the same time, if it's apparent that there's a clear 2 best teams and a clear 5 best drivers, like why wouldn't you take the chance? And that's why I think I much prefer triple Mercedes, even though, there's chatter around disqualification risk. But I think that's all a bit of a farce. Hannah, my favorite Limitless team is on the bottom left, and I tell you what, I'm going to update that. Let me update that. Sorry for the overlays. Russ, Antonelli. So yeah, that's probably my my pick. If not Miami, what are the other good tracks to consider? No negative. Brazil. 100% Brazil. So again, my stream's lagging a bit, but hopefully you guys can see it all. I'm going to just refresh the Creator Studio. Hopefully that doesn't throw anything off for you guys. But maybe you lost me for a second. I really hope that didn't happen. But the stream's playing up a bit, so hopefully it's a bit faster now. Okay, back to the chat. Alonso over Lawson. I'd personally go Lawson. No negative. So yeah, Mayank, for me, no negative. Wet race, doesn't matter wet. So like, honestly, no negative in Miami. Maybe. I mean, I feel like no negative in Miami, and Seth's asking the same question. Yeah, Bowie's probably all across that LAN cable. Cool. Okay, glad the stream's working. It's just a bit fiddly. I think like no negative this weekend. I actually don't have a bad thing to say about it. I actually really like it. With the wet weather tomorrow, I think it's perfectly fine. Particularly on a team like what you can see on screen here. I think that works fine. So yeah. 4.5 million for me to leave on the side seems a bit crazy, right? I mean, I can't get to Albon in one move, can I? It's been raining for hours. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, Limitless in Brazil. Sorry, I wouldn't be saving Limitless in Brazil. I'd be saving no negative for Brazil. Max goes, Piastri, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Behrman, Lawson, McLaren, Mercedes. Oh, wrong marker. I'd be going no negative. Max, if you really want to, I think that's perfectly fine. All right. I prefer Lawson because he's qualifying lower than both and has a lower threshold to rise. He only needs 8 points and he's starting further back than both. So yeah, that's why I prefer Lawson. I'm not doing Limitless on the main team, doing Limitless on the second team. I mean, there are a lot of what ifs. Sorry. Yeah, I think no negative. The way the weather is going right now makes me think there is certainly a risk of DNFs tomorrow. Like 20 millimeters of rain, an hour of rain during the race or around it'll be a wet track at least, and it's raining. Light rain by Miami standards, sure, but it's probably rain regardless. That's rain regardless for F1 Fantasy. 2x bonus, Norris. Yeah, so Agent Omek, Vepa, Simon. I think it's more just because, it's exactly your point, Simon. It's because people are going to, on non-limitless teams, have Oscar Piastri. And again, you really want to make the most of the differential assets you own and how you can bridge that gap further. I agree wholeheartedly. Piastri has been the more consistent driver. Looks like he's going to score another 30, 40 points this weekend. But I think Norris is, just as good on his day. Just as good, if not even a bit better. Oh, wow, Nico, that's real differential. No McLaren. Hey. You all right? I think she's getting second thoughts about using Limitless. So she's just moping a bit. Hey, what's up? Miami webcam. Yeah, maybe I will. 2x Verstappen's honestly fine too. I think, Nico, to just go back to your question, going Mercedes, Ferrari, I just think Ferrari look really off the pace. The pit stops, sure, is probably the one argument in favor of going for them this weekend. But I think personally, it's just another variable I wouldn't want to be contending with. If I'm using Limitless, I want to be 99% certain, 100% certain that you're getting the most out of all drivers and constructors. And yeah, no negative this weekend. Not a bad shout, frankly. All right, let's go back to some lineup questions. Stevie, 3 free transfers, 2.6 in the bank. Considering one at Ocon, Piastri to Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Bortoleto. Lots of questions here. I think if you've got McLaren Mercedes, Stevie, I wouldn't be going down Norris unless you've got an obscene budget. I think if you're going into Norris, you want to still be able to have Mercedes and McLaren. Otherwise, I think the Lawson-Alonso swap looks great. Fernando, McLaren Mercedes, Piastri, Ocon, Hadjar, Bortoleto, Behrman, 109. With the rain, would you still do Limitless and wait? X2 would be Norris. I'd go with Kimi. My team's not set up for it, but Fernando, your team is. So I'd be thinking about it if you've got kind of the makings of a team. And poll. Sorry, that banner for the poll has been up for the entire stream. Maybe I should have kept it. Thoughts on Sainz? Hannah, I don't know if it was you or someone else who asked that earlier, but I think Sainz is a wait and see for a couple more weeks. Not this week. Simon, thanks for dropping by, my man. Have a great weekend. Hitanch, main team, Piastri, Bortoleto, Doohan, Hadjar, Behrman, Mercedes, McLaren. I do the Limitless for... Oh, wow. Okay, so you got Gasly and Doohan in that second team. If you have to Limitless one of them, Hitanch, I'd be Limitlessing the first one. Limitlessing? Is that even a word? Yeah, the first one. Rain will get heavier. Yeah, it seems like it, hey. How about McLaren and Ferrari versus McLaren Mercedes? McLaren Mercedes. Stack between Sainz and Bortoleto or Ocon Alonso. I'd probably go Ocon Alonso for this week, Reed. All my assets should increase, so thinking Limitless, Beth on Fantasy Tools, Limitless, less effective on sprint weekends because of midfield drivers. Yeah. I mean, like, Stevie, again, play your own game. A lot of people, I guarantee you this will be the most popular weekend for the Limitless chip. Guarantee it. Without a doubt. As I've said before, this is my team too. Like, I was always going to use it on one of my teams, but I think, like, play your own game. Leclerc or Antonelli, I'd go Antonelli for Limitless, your leader. I think Stevie, though, kind of back to your question, just stick it out. Use it in Imola. Yeah, Lewis, I'd be going Alonso or Lawson, probably. I'm going Alonso. So I'm going Lawson, most likely. But, yeah. Thunder is forecasted to delay the race tomorrow. Huh. Honestly, am I talking myself into a no negative in Miami? Am I talking myself into a no negative in Miami? Or even an autopilot? Yeah, they'll red flag it because that's what happened in Brazil, wasn't it? Oh, no, that's Russell crashed in Brazil a couple of years ago. That's when Matt came out, got pole. It wasn't because of the weather. Why Merc, not Ferrari? Because Ferrari are not confident in their car this weekend. Oh, there goes the camera. Oh, I'm not even positioned correctly. Got to get that dirty side of the track. Shout out to Australia's America's leading F1 podcast, or at least that's what Brian and Rob say, who host it. Give them a listen. If you haven't, they sent this nice t-shirt, so it's now covered in Bowie's fur, but yeah, shout out to those two guys. I got Gasly and Doohan. I think Limitless and Imola, Colin, to be honest. Yeah, same for you, Derpy Cake. I just feel like if you've got two assets falling in value, then just save it for one more week. That's, again, don't let me tell you what to do, but I can understand going Limitless with like just Gasly or just Doohan, but for both, probably not. Dan's thinking no Limitless, Piastri, Albon, Hadjar, Behrman, Bortoleto, McLaren, Mercedes. That looks great. Looks great. Maybe no negative. Yeah. Maybe no negative. Maybe no negative, Dan. I'm honestly tempted by it. Hadjar, Behrman, Bortoletto, Doohan, Owen, I'd think about no negative. 4 rookies. We saw how badly they did in Australia. Why Lawson over Alonso? Because he's qualifying lower, Jess, and he has a lower threshold to rise 0.6 than both of those two. Ocon's had his best races this season when he's been qualifying, P18, P19, P20. He's up in 13th today, so yeah, wouldn't be looking at that too much. I want to use Limitless, but I have a team. Yeah, I think I'd answer that. This is feeling like the calm before the storm in Australia. It 100% is. Hey. I go Chinokia. I'd go Lawson. It is feeling like the calm before the storm. I feel like we could have chaos. There's less than an hour now until our teams lock. And there's 618 F1 fantasy managers in the chat. 255 likes. So again, thank you guys so much for dropping by and talking nonsense for a couple of hours with me. Albon or Lawson? I want to say Albon. I really want to say Albon, but I think Lawson. The chat's not updating as per, but that's okay. Lawson or Ocon, the better driver to set up Limitless in Miami, I think. Lawson. Kevin, I'm saving my no negative, most likely for Brazil, unless there's a crazy update on the forecast in the next 58 minutes and 20 seconds. Thoughts on McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Alonso with no negative to counteract those using using Limitless. Yeah, Matthias, I think that works well. Paul C, I love that team. Looks great. Frederick, McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Hadjar, Behrman, Alonso, Gasly. Gasly has to go. Question is if I keep Alonso. I think keep Alonso. Is Lawson? Yeah, Lawson answered that one. So Limitless with no Charles, considering the possibility of rain. I mean, maybe that's the argument. Like maybe Antonelli is not so great because it's a wet weather risk. And yeah, Kevin, yeah, a couple of questions around that. 100%. Leclerc over Antonelli in the wet weather. Piastri, Norris, like Max especially, great wet weather drivers. I mean, Norris has had his moments in the wet. We all know that. Russia, was that 2021? So yeah, mixed feelings about wet weather drivers. But yeah, Piastri 3X, probably not. Sean Stone. I think we are thinking Limitless for Team 2 for me. That's what you can see on the screen here. Team 1, no. You're not the same Sean Stone from Love Island by any chance, are you? Maybe that's just a pure coincidence. Bowie. Sorry, that's the dog. Keep Behrman. Probably keep Behrman for this week. Limitless with Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, Doohan, McLaren, Haas. Yep, James, I think that sounds great to me. Piastri, Verstappen, Bortoletto, Doohan, Behrman, Mercedes, Aston. I'd probably Limitless, Maxi, and then wildcard out of that team after. Otherwise, wildcard this week. Jeremy, how are you, mate? Thank you, Sim. Thank you for the love. Sorry, Rory, I don't think I answered one of your questions earlier. I saw your name come through and I completely missed it, so my apologies. If I only have Gaz, can I trade in for Lawson and then Limitless? You cannot, unfortunately. No gaming the system. If you were to make your transfers this week and then activate Limitless, the transfers will reverse and your team on the other side of the Limitless use will be whoever you had in Saudi Arabia. Hadjar Alonso for a low budget pick. Hadjar. CB88-3. I've locked in Piastri. Ali? Is that Antonelli? Hadjar, Behrman, Bortoletto, McLaren, and Mercedes. No negative. Awesome. Love that. Reed's doing the Lord's work in the chat. 4 or 5 drivers expected to go up. You could consider. Less than that, you may want to focus. Yep. Reed, I think I'm going to have to change my overlays and just have my notes. Forget my likely move down here on the middle right next to the timer. I think you're onto something, Reed. I think you're onto something. Nina, I think, yeah, Hadjar for me out of him and Alonso. I mean, Yusuf, if you're worried about leaving 6.4 on the side, then get in Ocon. Get in Ocon. Lawson or Bortoletto, Roham, I think for this week, Lawson, but if you're using Limitless in the coming week, Bortoletto. Is Antonelli known to be good in the rain? I don't know that. So maybe Ava's onto something for having Antonelli in your team. Is this my final team? That's my team 2. My team 1 is currently this, but I'll come over to this screen. 550 of you doing the absolute Lord's work watching this stream before the deadline. Let's get up to 300 likes. Just again, we'll never ask for donations. I'll never ask for whatever, the monetary things are that streamers ask. Just a like and a bit of love on the live chat is, as much as I'll ever ask. So yeah. Thank you again. Bortoletto Nocturnal. Swayzer, have a great weekend. Thank you for dropping by. Why not Limitless on Belgium, considering low amount of overtakes in 2024? Yeah, that's a possibility, Mario. Possibility. Ocon for signs. I'd be getting signs. I wouldn't have signs this week. He's a post Imola dude for me, 100%. I have a good setup for Limitless, but have Alonso. Would you prefer Limitless or Alonso swap to Lawson? Ben, I'd plug Limitless this week, to be honest. The F1 fantasy wizard from Oz. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, Brant. Thank you for coming by. Which track are you saving Limitless for, Sean? He's asking. Team 1 next week, Imola. I'm like 99% locked on Limitless and Imola this time around. And I had Team 3, Limitless and Saudi. So all 3 of my teams will be exhausted by Limitless next week. Thank you, Tyler. So Norris 2x instead of Piastri, David, because everyone that's not running Limitless will have Piastri, and you want to really make the most of the differential assets. I say differential in the sense that using Limitless is going to be differential. So I think, Limitless 2x for me, Norris is my pick. Rain in the street circuits, give a little room for error. You're not wrong, Kyle. You're not wrong. Derby Cake, I think I said Lawson out of those 3. Alonso or Bortoletto or Ocon for Limitless and Imola. Bortoletto for Limitless next week, yeah. I have 3 transfers now, but may go Limitless. Do I lose my extra transfer? You do, David. You reckon Limitless in Imola or Miami? It depends on the team, Obi. Depends on the team. Yeah, as Reed pointed out before, and I should have said this at the start, if you've got 4 to 5 drivers that are going up in price this weekend, then use Limitless. If you've got, Doohan and Gasly or Hulkenberg or Sainz, then or at least two drivers dropping, I wouldn't. 2x for Limitless, Lando. Why does F1 Fantasy Tools predict Alonso with 5 points and Law 0.8? Yeah, I was trying to answer that myself earlier, and it's something that's really been bugging me because I can't. The Sims will these are the Sims, yes, but I was trying to see if we could, because if we open this up for Liam Lawson, he's got a higher DNF rate, 4 expected overtakes, 10% DNF, and 4 expected overtakes. And what does Fernando Alonso have? He has a 7% DNF rate and 5 expected overtakes. So that, I think this extra sim info is essentially what feeds into this 5-point estimate. But yeah, I'm just playing the overtake game with Lawson, even if his estimates are lower. It's gut feel, if nothing else. Ocon instead of Gasly? Yeah, I'd be doing Ocon instead. Costco has a Leclerc diecast models. Could it be a sign? It could be. I'm really, really tempted by no negative. Really tempted. We got 50 minutes to make a decision. Will Haas gain? Haas will gain. Sumil, Haas will gain. Any changes from Pistri, Alonso? Did I even? Maybe I didn't. I didn't even tweet this out. Anyway, I was like, didn't even post that I was live. I'm an hour into the stream. I didn't even tell people I'm live, but hopefully you've either been subscribed to the channel and know I'm streaming before the deadline. Why using Imola Limitless? Because it's a low overtake track and the delta is higher, Nuno. Will Haas will gain? Why is Danica holding that umbrella and not the guy, lol? Cobbo, I could go on all day about Danica Patrick. I'm not going to, but I'm surprised she's still on TV broadcasts. 5 drivers with price rises. Sucks to waste 3 free transfers, but I think honestly, Stevie, I think Yuki pit lane start doesn't change much for me, but it does mean Behrman starts 1 position higher. If Yuki didn't DNF in Saudi Arabia, where could I squeeze him in? No, I wouldn't have enough. I'd have to go, if I wanted Yuki, I'd have to go something like this. And Jack doing. But Jack will be 4.5 after this weekend, as will this Kick Sauber. So, yeah. I think Jack could be an option, although he's going to lose his seat in Imola anyway. That's probably good for Franco Colapinto, though. Coming in at 4.5. Not bad. Good size. I think, yeah. That's pretty much the one trade. Waste to transfer Limitless next week. Yusuf, I'm trying to play different strategies. I've always done this. I would never go kind of all in on the same strategy on all 3 teams. I try to be different each week. So, yeah, Hannah, exactly. That's like high DNF risk because of an extra session, rain in the forecast. I'm not going down Limitless. If I choose to save Limitless for Monaco, do you think the rookies will struggle? Kenneth, I can't answer. I have no idea. They've all raced at Monaco, so I guess that's a positive. Hadjar pulled off that impressive dodge in the tunnel last year, if you can remember, from F2. Yeah. George, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the nice words. It means a lot. It really does. To go back to your question, Yusuf, it's just more to like hedge strategy. Currently a downpour out in Miami. So many things happening all at once. 572 of you, 320 likes, in unlimited F1 fantasy decisions to make. Preparing my team for Limitless and Imola. What drivers should I add to my team? Probably the guys I've got on screen right now, to be honest. Honestly, do I go no negative? Because if I've got Lawson in my team this week, I've got 4 rookies plus Antonelli in the Mercedes Constructor. I'm tempted. I'll say it one more time just to make it clear. Let's see, what else have we got? What else is being said? Feels like this is a great time to double down on Stroll. You mean the wet weather must? Oh my days! Look at this. Screen's gone white. I mean, it's going to be lagging because my computer's having a nervous breakdown on stream today. But Porsche F1 providing live updates. No way the track dries up. I think I might honestly use no negative. I'm thinking about no negative. Oh, I am thinking about it very, very seriously as well. Yeah, before Raheem said anything. Yeah, I think Tom's thinking it too. I'm so tempted to go no negative. There's a real groundswell for yeah, wow. I needed to see the footage. Because like in reality, Kimmy, I'm sorry, mate. Is there? Yeah, thanks, Tom. Okay, Tom's been a lifesaver with that. I know my computer is going to freak the hell out if I try and put some kind of live weather meteorology. I know Disco Heat was asking for a stream, not a streamer, an update on the weather, like a live stream, but no negative. Yeah, I'm tempted. And yeah, rain's even worse tomorrow, Sim. Like rain is, yeah, I'm genuinely considering it now. I'll probably go Lawson and then no negative it. All right, back to the questions in the chat. There's been a few of them. 600 viewers. 600. Love all of you. Show the weather forecast. I feel like the live stream at the track would be better. To rehash quickly, Casper, it looks more likely than 2 millimeters of rain today. So I think, yeah, I feel trust Alonso in the wet, sure. But like if you've got no negative, is no negative bad on a non-sprint? Yeah, I think if you can, rain's even worse tomorrow. Rain's like 20 mils tomorrow. Why am I not streaming on FanAmp? Rory, do you want the tea on that? I can give you the tea in just a second. Lewis, how are you, mate? Lewis, one of the OGs. The tea on Miami. I'll throw the live Miami weather camera up on YouTube. Is that even a copyright infringement? I haven't forgotten the question about FanAmp, so I'll fill you guys in on that. Who are also streaming Miami weather forecast live in caps, just to make it obvious. I didn't even know you could see a live Miami live weather forecast. The weather channel seems pretty reputable. I'm pretty tempted to go no neg now. Can we get like a zoomed in radar? Remember the last time my TV on my stream had a complete nervous breakdown? So if this even works for you guys, if you can see it, updating in real time, can we get a zoom in? Rob. Okay, so the track is up here in North Miami, somewhere around here, because I went to it last year. So yeah, that's like right now. And then sprint race is at 12. So like the track will be, no negative 100%, and it's worse tomorrow. So yeah, I think it's mental. Yeah, I mean no, like Colin, I've already locked in my Limitless team too, so I'm at peace with that. Weather looks grim. So this is today's forecast. Tomorrow's going to be even heavier. So yeah, I also. Yeah, let's throw up a poll. Great suggestion, Owen. Great suggestion. Bowie, are you having regrets about activating Limitless? Bowie? No answer. She's already upset with the decision to activate the chip. Ask a question. Which chip this weekend? Limitless. No negative. Nothing. Let's just Limitless. I still think Limitless will be popular. I know, and I did say to myself I wouldn't use it until we get to Brazil. I know that it's wet. It's so wet. It's so wet. Let's race through a few more questions. Okay. No rain here at Kendall. I still haven't forgotten the FanAmp stuff. I'll get to that in a sec. Miami Gardens. Yeah, so we'll go down to the bottom. Yeah, fair, Lewis. Fair. Like I think Alonso, not a bad shout. I mean, the rookies, I think the thing is autopilot perfectly fine too, Payne. I think the fact I've got 4 rookies in my team and we just saw how diabolical it was in Australia. It's right. I think the thing is, like, I swore to myself at the start of the year I wouldn't be using no negative until Brazil, but like, we're seeing a track in real time get absolutely flooded with these showers. It's going to be even worse tomorrow. I'd rather take the sure thing than just wait for 5-6 months and hope it rains in Brazil. Like, what if it doesn't? Like, it probably will. But I genuinely do think there's a case for no negative this weekend. And, almost 50% of you, over 100 people are really tempted by it. So Limitless, I think for the casual players, and I think everyone watching a video on F1 Fantasy 39 minutes before the deadline is an engaged player. But for casual fans that kind of come in and check their team once a week and then don't check it again until the next race, are probably going to go... More so, we'll go Miami. We'll go Limitless in Miami just because of the points upside. Miami has walls as well. Yeah, exactly, Ali, exactly. So, up to 600 of you, 620 absolute legends. The rookies. I think it's like, if you've got a team that doesn't have a bunch of rookies, then maybe don't stress as much. But I just think the rain is right here. It's kind of cooked, frankly. Any other updates? What's Rodolfo saying? The F1 weatherman. Good follow, this bloke. Wet sprint race. That's going to be... I'm like 99% on no negative. 99%. Sorry, I'm a bit excited. Just love a wet race. I just love a wet race. Okay. Sorry, I really shouldn't be getting this overworked just from F1 Fantasy, but if you know me by now, you know. No negative. I think turn 1 is going to be cooked. Turn 1's going to be cooked. People will spin out. Like, there's no way in hell... Sorry, the computer's lagging. The stream's not cooperating with these videos. And I know I'm well behind on questions. On the fan amp thing, I know someone asked this before. I have so much love for Adam, Zach, Terry. I just wanted to do more streams before the deadline this season. And yeah, the logic was just like, I'm giving a lot of my time to these guys. I have so much time for them as people, great friends, but I wanted to invest more time into my own channel, and I'm definitely feeling like that time investment has really paid off this season. So many people are engaged, so many people are loving the content, or it feels that way at least. So yeah, I mean, Adam, Terry, Zach, it was great to run it with them for a year and a half, but very happy with the decision to branch out on my own this year. All right, back to the chat. I'm going to just fire off 50 questions in quick succession. No explanation. I'll just give you my 2 cents. Yeah, Ali, I agree. No rookies in Brazil or fewer, so at least hopefully Spa more dangerous for wet weather. Yes, but I think the wet is here. Like, it's thick and fast in Miami. So like, why wouldn't we just take what is in front of us instead of try and pre-plan for something we don't know about? Two sessions of racing means 2 chances of DNFs. It's narrower. Why do you keep saying you're going to use the no negative in Brazil? Bowie knife. Because it's always raining in Interlagos. And we don't know what the forecast in 6 months is going to be. I'd rather just take what's in front of me than not. Does no negative affect budget? No. Like, the drivers you have will still change in price. Leclerc or Antonelli for Limitless due to rain? Leclerc. What about Ocon and Behrman? Will they gain or drop? If they don't DNF, they'll probably both rise. You reckon Limitless in Imola or Miami? I'm going Imola. Imola, because I'm using no negative this week, so that rules out. Okay, Piastri, Alonso. Yeah, okay. Wet to dry sprint would be so epic, hey. Yeah, Antonelli out in front will hopefully avoid... Hopefully, yeah. Owen, my man, activating. 660 people watching. You guys, again, cannot stress. Incredible, incredible people, so thank you. Alonso, Lawson, Brad. I'd go Lawson because I'm on no negative. If I wasn't going no negative, I'd be going Alonso. Better wet weather driver. And in the poll, which I'll close in just a second, we've got 44% of people saying no negative, 27 on Limitless, 29% doing nothing, 350 votes 6 minutes ago. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Albon will lose will Albon lose budget? Will pose budget challenges. He might. He might. I locked Limitless right before tuning into the stream. I'm sorry, sub. That's why you got to wait until the deadline if you can. I mean, I was pretty on the fence about Limitless, and now I'm not going anywhere near it. Ferrari, Mercedes given the rain. Ferrari given the rain, but well, actually, let me take that back. Mercedes have been very good in cold conditions. Does that make them a much better, objectively better option? Perhaps. Lady Stardust makes a good point, but I can't find the point Lady Stardust meant or made. I'm kind of scrolling through and I cannot... Oh, sorry, that's Bowie brand. I get that. I get who you're referring to. Never mind. You get... Yeah, I agree, Luke. Yeah, I'm glad I branched out because it felt much more natural and organic. Filippo, thank you for dropping by, sir. I'd go no negative if you're on the board with that. Perfectly fine. Does the weather forecast change your ideal Miami Limitless? Yeah, I think I'd probably go Leclerc. Over Antonelli. Anyone got any other... I want to find... Rodolfo's great, but is there any video content? Again, my website is tripping. So Fantasy Tips is locked in. I'm going to fire off a quick tweet and then I'll fire off my team in 20 minutes. Tom's going there. Looks like I think I'm pretty locked on no negative now. I want to go. Sorry, I'm only checking my notifications because usually there are some pretty good. Yeah, there are usually for the people I have notifications turned on for. I usually get pretty good updates on track and nothing new. I thought Medland might have posted something, but anyway. Back to the chat. Lawson Ocon, I go Lawson. Silent Sinner, thank you, man. Antonelli, Russell, I go Russell. Hamilton and Leclerc, they're definitely better drivers in the rain. But does Mercedes fire up the car even more because it's colder conditions? It's colder on track. Thank you, Owen. Good luck, my friend. 2x Verstappen, or that would be differential. If you're on Limitless, I would be thinking seriously about Max Verstappen. If you're on Limitless. Only if you're on Limitless. Yusuf, for reasons why I won't be using Limitless on a sprint weekend, all you need to know is in my chip or Limitless strategy video from a couple of weeks ago. Lawson or Alonso? Alonso in the wet weather. Lawson for possible price rises. Bortoletto because he won't drop. It's pouring on the pre-race stream. Alonso, Lawson, Mercedes or Ferrari in the wet. I still think Mercedes, but much better drivers at Ferrari for sure. Ocon, Behrman, given the Limitless in Imola, probably still Ocon. Still Behrman, probably. Put it this way. Unless a driver unless Behrman DNFs in both sessions, I think he can easily score enough points in the session he doesn't DNF in to make up whatever minimum threshold to avoid the max price drop. So I think Behrman's probably the best one. Haven't played any chip yet. Limitless or no negative? Who would you put the DRS boost on Limitless? Probably Verstappen. Yeah. No way we start on time. No way we do. That means the deadline won't change. We've got 30 minutes. We have 30 minutes. We have 600 people still watching. 4.2 views across the last hour and a half. 357 likes. Wow, what a banger of a stream with you guys. And we've still got 30 minutes to go. Umbrellas are up. Which Medlin's on? Oh, true. Yeah, no, of course. I should know that, Ali. Medlin, yeah. No, I mean, Medlin's... When I saw him in Melbourne, he was saying he's got not more chance, but he's going to be on F1 TV more often this season. But we've definitely seen that in the last few weeks. So he's absolutely cooking. Great journalist, great broadcaster. Yeah, Matt will be doing no negative. Why don't I update? And no negative chip. Oh, hang on. This is what you get when I'm like such a dinosaur with streaming and trying to figure out, the overlays and doing it all at the same time. And it's just not a very clean way for me to do it. But hope you guys can bear with me while I talk nonsense and navigate the manual adjustments. I haven't activated the NN yet. Oh, did I not? Stephen, I thought I said, Stephen, rewind like 5 to 10 minutes. I talked about my reasons for going out on my own and not doing fan amp this year. I talked about it for about 3 minutes. Wait, what? Leclerc out of the sprint on the way to the grid? You're kidding. Sorry, Obi, I didn't answer your question. Because I live overseas now, I have unenrolled from the electoral roll, but will re-enroll when I am back in Australia. Wow. Leclerc out. So that's him done for the day. That's insane. Get him out. Get him out of your Limitless teams if you've got him. That's crazy. Oh my days. Chaos already. I'm tweeting and you guys are telling me what's happening because I don't have my F1 TV stream. This is maddening. This is chaos. And I'm absolutely here for it. We've got 840 people. 840 absolute legends. Leclerc, oh my days, I'm losing my marbles. I don't even have a stream. I got to get the stream up on my phone and prop it up so I can watch and talk at the same time with the volume off. This is chaos. I'm getting chills. Is anyone else? Leclerc, oh my god. This is okay. I've got the phone propped up. Brian Botzi is on the screen here. No volume. And we have 860 people watching. Chaos. I don't even have time to get to every single question because I don't think there are questions in here. I think it's just live reactions, people. Wow. I'm watching it now. Is this even legal to show the broadcast on my phone while on the stream? Probably not, but geez Louise. Woo! Okay. Bowie, time to change your Limitless team. Think you got to take out Leclerc. Can he start from the pit or is the car beyond repair? Because I'm just catching up now and he's just parked off to the side. It looks drivable, no? I mean, no one's immune. No negative is 100% the play. Oh my god. Jeez Louise. I can't even reply to tweets on the comment. Oh my days. People, this is going gangbusters. This is probably the funnest stream I've had this season, and we're not even answering questions. We're just losing our collective minds. over another Ferrari disaster class. And then a Haas just went off the track too. Was that Behrman? Oh my days. I'm activating no negative right now. We're not even at the deadline. We're 25 minutes out. Oh, but I can't do that until I make a transfer. No, I just... Oh, then I bloody butchered the... Oh. Okay. Given... I'll wait 5 more minutes. And then my stream... Oh, sorry, my screen doesn't properly align. Oh, dear. Oh, absolute chaos. Best Limitless team I'd probably have then. I'd probably do your Hamilton instead of Antonelli. Car needs a rudder. That's pretty funny. Sorry, I'll lock in. Let's lock into the chat. This is pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever been on a stream where there's been like so many last minute decisions. Leclerc is out of the car. You have to think he's out of the race, right? This is chaos. Like, why wouldn't you be doing no negative right now? I mean, this is kind of what we would have expected in Brazil. But we're getting this in Miami. Yeah, wow, Behrman. So that's Lewis getting out of the car on screen here. Rain stopping in 20 minutes. Yeah, but it's going to be an absolute lake out there. Oh, yeah, we're absolutely using no negative. 100% we are. Oh, George, we are... Every single person watching this are degenerate F1 fantasy players, and there's absolutely nothing wrong about that. All 700 of you watching this, 387 likes. You guys are top shelf human beings. What a chaotic deadline stream. Sprint race probably will be delayed though, regardless of Leclerc's situation. He's out of the race. So is that the update? Manazvi? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I wouldn't go near Ferrari in any situation. Hamilton, you guys are my gospel on these updates, because I've only got the F1 TV broadcast on my screen here, on my phone here, and I'm not looking at Twitter, because what you see on screen is essentially what I'm. I tell you what, might have to throw Twitter off to one side so I can just keep my eyes peeled while we go through. What's wrong with Hamilton? I think someone in the chat said something about Hamilton. Again, I have to trust you guys that what you're saying is legit, because if you're misleading the chat, then I'm misled and I don't have much to go off. That's why I'm throwing Twitter onto the other screen. Laura said delayed start. Okay. Degenerate, speak for yourself. Yeah. Activated. Mike's activated is no negative. I think as most people in the chat have. Yeah. I'm going to activate it now. People. In the off chance the game cooks itself, not saying it will, but it's a pretty... we're locked in for no negative for the Miami Grand Prix. Continue. So that's activated on Team 1. Do I do it on Team 3, or do I save the no negative for Team 3 for Brazil? I might save it. So no negative is active. I wouldn't be going near Leclerc on Limitless. Yeah, but it's not... If the rain stops, it's more just the track is soaked. Like, everyone is on inters, right? So that was all it took for 6 DNFs, 5 DNFs in Australia. Wish I could give the stream more likes. You're too kind. Engineered. Yeah, Leclerc is definitely... he's done. No negative for sure. That's the thing. If you've already got Ferrari in your team and you've already made transfers, I would activate the no negative without hesitation. And honestly, autopilot, perfectly fine too. I still need to obviously make this transfer and take Gasly out in the chaos. I can't forget to do that. I just wanted to get no negative locked in case I, in the last 20 minutes and 33 seconds of this stream, have a heart attack. And can't obviously lock that in. The chat is absolutely flying, Mike. You're absolutely right. Oh, Reed's saying we've got wets potentially. I've got the stream up with Laura and Medland, but I can't obviously hear what they're saying because I don't want the volume to come through the speaker. I mean, look, even if you've activated Limitless, I don't think it's like weekend defining by any means. I personally think there is ways you can hedge any potential risk there. Like Antonelli, I would be probably having second thoughts if I had him in my team, which is probably not a bad thing to do. The problem is it's either him or it's Hamilton now. You can't go Leclerc because if he's not racing, that's a -20 for a DNS. So yeah, max 2x. I think I'm going to go max 2x. Great suggestion. I said this about half an hour ago. Limitless, yeah. I think Verstappen max 2x is for me. Swap Mercedes to Ferrari, yeah. Yeah, I'd probably be going Mercedes over Ferrari now. I'd be going Alonso over Lawson in the rain, but if you're not doing no negative. Like I'm going to go no negative because I think Alonso versus Lawson, assuming neither of them DNF, Lawson is better for budget gain over the next 2 to 3 races, I think anyway, than Alonso. So yeah, should we go max 2x? Let's YOLO it, hey? Add DRS boost. So that's max locked in for the 2x on Limitless. On my team 2 and on my team 1, we've got no negative. The chat's not updating again. I need to be better at this. I swear to God, I need to be better at this. If he has a heart attack, F1 Fantasy is doing its part. Yeah, max 2x Limitless, 100%. Otherwise, Norris. Probably Max, but otherwise Norris. Lawson, I mean, Ocon maybe. Like Ocon had, again, a pretty good race in Australia, all things considered. We're up to 800 concurrent viewers, 400 likes on the stream, 5,000 total. Yeah, rain has stopped, but the track hasn't dried up. It won't dry up. The entire sprint will be a wet race. Bortoletto or Lawson for Limitless Imola. Probably Bortoletto. Just because he can't go down in price. Like, that's the other thing. Like, he can't drop. Even if, like, no negative stops the... And now, like, my group chat for my mates is flying off the handle. Charles is cooked. Charles is absolutely cooked. Like, the thing is... No, true. No, Miami, you're so right, Matty. You're so right. Miami can dry out, but it doesn't look like the track won't dry out in an hour. Maybe by qualifying, sure. But the track's not going to dry out for the sprint, and it's 20 mils of rain tomorrow. Like, the rain will not relent. It will not... I don't think it will... Like, you obviously, if you're from Florida, you know the weather better than I do, but it's kind of chaotic regardless. Like, yeah. Yeah. Can you explain why Lawson instead of Ocon? Did I answer that? Maybe I didn't. Lawson only needs 2 points for a price rise. Ocon needs 4. Again, not much for either of them. I mean, I haven't even locked in my second transfer yet. I could do Ocon. I'm not ruling it out, but right now I'm on Lawson. And I need to get this transfer locked in. We're 17 minutes until the deadline. Yeah, I just, if you're having glitches with activating chips, just do it. Track dries out. Impossible. It will stop raining. It stopped raining, it looks like, but no chance the track dries out. I've gone big on the alternative strategy. I have the 3X chip, Rob. What was that? Oh, yeah, True Aston. Russell Piastri. Bold, mate. Bold. But I back you. You and Lewis know how to play a differential strategy, if I've ever known two F1 fantasy fanatics. F1 Fantasy Frenzy, LL Team, Max, Yuki, Lando, Piastri, McLaren, Red Bull. Quite bold, but I think it could be good. Yeah, 100% it could be. I think it could be. Max will cook on the 2X. I think if you're going no negative, then I think you can make the argument for Lawson more. But like, even still, like, Lawson is still more of a DNF risk than Alonso. I think that goes up even more in the wet. Do I throw Alonso in instead? I probably need to think a couple of weeks forward because I've not talked about my team at all except for this potential transfer and then the chip chaos in the last 20 minutes. Like, you guys have seen me lose my absolute head loss. What about Alonso with the idea of doing Limitless? Hayden, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing Limitless in Imola. Like, the weather may not be good, but at least we know that there's terrible weather. Like, we know it's terrible weather right in front of us. So, like, why hesitate? Jeremy, Pistri, Gasly. Yeah, I mean, I love your team, Jeremy, and you're crushing it this season. And then it's Gasly, Ocon, Doohan, Bortoletto, Roll, or Gasly, Antonelli. Oh. Would you want to risk the Haas in the rain? Like, Haas is so overdue for a DNF. They are so overdue for a DNF. Like, you didn't like that one, Bowie, did you? You're a big Haas fan? Yeah, you're in the minority, my friend. Bowie. She's not interested. No delay on start. Is Limitless still worth doing? It's fine. It's just risky as hell. Super risky. I've had 5,000 views across the last hour and 45 minutes. You guys are crazy. Crazy good people. All right, time to get this team locked in. I'm probably going to go this. I know I've backtracked, but... Oh, no. It's like... Okay, so let me think about how I want to structure my team. I'm going to have to like pull the screen out and then pull it back. Sorry, again, super manual over here from me. But that's just how the cookie crumbles when you've got a dinosaur running a stream. It has no prior experience with website interfaces and overlays. So let's say this is my stream, my team for this weekend. Then I have Limitless in, it doesn't matter if it's him or Lawson. I mean, it's probably Lawson actually now. I don't know. Let's just put Lawson in because he costs more. This is my team this weekend. Then Limitless, and then I come out of Limitless. I guess I've got the wild card, but if I have two transfers, I'm guessing Behrman is probably on the chopping block. Lawson might be as well. Bortoletto will be sitting there, set and forget. I think Sainz could be an option then. So if I got Sainz in, let's factor in this price. He'll be cheaper, no doubt. I could get to Gasly. That's nice. I could do that after Imola. Like for Monaco, that's really nice. I really like that team for Monaco. I guess I got the wild card yeah, that's nice. These guys will drop and it's obviously just hoping. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm content with that. So I'll probably stay with Ollie. We got 12 minutes. Lock in your team. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Are people having activation issues? I hope not, because that probably means the transfers are cooked as well. Okay, I'm going to lock in my team now. Oh my God. Do I go Alonso? Just for like the experience. Team 3. Oh, you don't want to look at my team 3, Crytex. I've been telling people go Lawson over Alonso, but I definitely think like it's a coin flip between the two. Everyone who qualified Leclerc will get one position gain without doing anything. How good is F1 fantasy, am I right? Russell on full wet, so he could cook or he could give us all food poisoning. Should I go Albon for the last pick or Lawson or Ocon? Yusuf, I think just go. Yeah, I'm leaning Alonso for sure. Yusuf, I'd probably go. Probably not Albon this week. Yeah, I'm leaning Alonso just for the wet weather because sure, I've got no negative, but it's more, I think Alonso is a much lower DNF risk than Liam Lawson. And if Liam Lawson DNFs, I mean, you can apply this to anyone. If a driver DNF, they're more likely they are almost guaranteed for the 0.6 price drop. And I just think price, like budget building is still really important. I'm swinging, I'm going to change this. that. Last update. I think I'm pretty set on Alonso just for the wet weather. I'm content with the decision because it's been one where I'm like, who did 2x on Limitless? Max Verstappen. There's a large cell of rain coming through as well. We got 770 of you. Insane. Why not Lawson instead of Bortoletto? Because Bortoletto won't go down in price. Ocon over Behrman. I'd say Behrman just because he's starting at the back. I think, as I said, Haas are due a DNF, so it could come from either of those two. Alonso in the wet for sure over Lawson. Does no negative affect budget? Yes, you still get the budget changes on no negative. Ocon over Behrman due to the wet. Did I answer that? Maybe. Sunday wet. Sunday's even more wet than right now, Will. Sunday's even more wet. I'm going to lock in. I haven't actually posted my team, so let's lock in. One change, so be it. We're locking in. 4.9 on the side. Bang. That's it, boys and girls. Time to post that bastard of a team. Nine minutes before the deadline. Actually, I could just do it on the app. Bear with me for one moment. So that's my team 1. That's my team 2. Piastri has floor issues. Oh, no. Please tell me that's not true. Please tell me Piastri floor issues is not true. Bowie, come on. Composed picks. Oh, this is not composed. Okay, locking in and posting madness. Okay. This is absolute madness. Okay, phone is absolutely essing the bed. Sorry, bear with me, people. I will race through all of your questions. Have a good one, Lewis. I'll catch you soon, mate. Oh, no. Dang it. Oh, Rob, you're freaking yourself out. Rumored or confirmed? I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. People, I'm sorry for being antisocial for all of about 2 minutes. You're probably clocking off. Yeah, that's done. That's posted. Okay. All right, done. All right, let's race through every single question. Bowie, you want to come up on this? Come on. Here you go. We'll do all the questions. We'll do all the questions together. All right. So, what do you think, Bo? Does no negative affect budget if a driver DNFs? No. Bortoletto cannot go down in price. Do you think Pierre Gasly will reach his threshold because of the weather? Probably not. Rant about Danica Patrick, next stream. Does Piastri as 2x for Limitless count as enough of a differential considering... I mean, Limitless is a differential, but I'll be going Verstappen on my team 2. That is my team 1. Piastri has floor issues. Yeah, I'm worried about that. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, Mike. Thank you for coming by, as always. Drop a stream on the like. Drop a like on the stream, guys. We've got 7 minutes. Alonso or Ocon? Alonso, yeah, I guess I think maybe there's a bit of misleading content in the chat around the Piastri floor issue. I guess if there was a sudden concern, let's check Twitter. Sky Italy is saying they're working on the floor. Oh, Sky Italy, not Sky Sports UK. Okay. Bowie, what do you think? Good luck, Owen. Thank you for coming by. 3x on the dog. That's it, Bowie. That's it. Tops. Oh, Bowie, that's the microphone. That's the microphone. Probably my best guest so far. No offense. Sorry, I'm not looking for fantasy teams, guys. I'm looking for updates. Cheeky pun on Hulk? Yeah, maybe, but not for the Leclerc to miss the Miami sprint. Get him out of your team. I wouldn't own Ferrari this week because you'll get a -20 at least for him in the sprint. Risk of rain 70%. Is there a delayed start? Still rumours, probably. Yeah. All right, back to the stream, back to the team. Actually, what did everyone else run? Let's Antonelli or Alonso, or if it's 1 for 1, I'm assuming George, you've got a different constructor if you've got Antonelli, but I prefer Antonelli for points, assuming neither driver DNFs. Bo, you're shaking. Is it first time nerves? Say hello. Okay. All right, I'll put you down. All right. 5 minutes, guys. Hey, I'll be right there. 5 minutes, guys. Get those teams locked in. Can't you quickly change Pistri for Max with the floor issue? I could. I've got 2. I guess I've got 2. I got 1 more transfer. Just a transfer to change Gasly to Lawson to Alonso. Yeah, but I mean at the same time, it's it's pretty chaotic with everything that's going on. Look, at the end of the day, it's fantasy, right? It's just a game. It's just a game. What a fun stream it has been. Zach said floor damage not ideal. We'll lose some downforce. But I mean, Parc Ferme opens after the sprint race. Thank you for everything. Yeah, Patrick. So like maybe they can correct it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think at this point it's kind of like just activate the chip. No negative is probably my favorite chip to activate because there's absolutely no nerves. There's absolutely no nerves with what happens to your team in terms of points. So yeah, it's been a banger of a stream. So much has kind of kicked off in the last 45 minutes particularly. With Leclerc race tomorrow. Yeah, he'll race tomorrow. It's so yeah, Filippo. That we're not blaming it on you. We're not blaming it on you. It's just mixed messaging from different sources. So no stress. Commit to your gut feel. Yeah, I'm honestly content. I'm gonna stick with Oscar. Like, yeah, like Chris. I think autopilot's probably been slept on a little bit because of how popular Limitless and no negative is, but. Yeah, we will see. So anyway, guys, yeah, that was a banger of a stream. I'll stay until we get down to 0 on the timer, but who to 2x? I'll get through some more questions as well. What a great stream. What a truly great stream this has been. The chat's flying, and I keep pausing it by accident. We got to 8,350 subs, 426 likes. 522 concurrent viewers at the moment with an average view duration of 11 minutes. There's probably been, in my 4 years of playing F1 Fantasy, the most nerve-wracking, indecisive, chaotic deadline stream or like lead up to the deadline. So yeah, thanks for dropping by, Michael. Great to have you here. Yeah, I probably should have like an earpiece or a headset in so I can listen to news as it comes through, but obviously want to make sure I'm engaged with you guys as much as possible. Final fix in Leclerc. Why final fixing? Oh, right. I see what you mean, Drew, as in like for overtakes or something. Yeah, perhaps. Matt, thank you for coming by. Really enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Hannah. VK Duro, good luck. What a crazy stream. Sonoda starting the pits. No change to the top 10 though. Except for obviously Charles. About to bottle top 50 in FPL. GG's. Oh, wait, I bottled top 50 long ago in FPL. I've probably bottled top 50 in F1 Fantasy as well. Come back after the sprint. Oh, I'd love to. I've actually got a sim racing tournament with my friends just before quali. So I got to get some laps in, practice on the F1 game. I'm in a league of like 10 guys and I'm absolutely dreadful compared to some of these rapid drivers. So yeah, won't be streaming after, unfortunately, but a full day of Formula One, going straight to the sprint race, then onto the sim racing for a couple hours, then into qualifying. So yeah, deadline's locked, guys. Hope you've made your transfers for the week. What an absolute stream that was. Truly fantastic. You guys have a great weekend. As I said, drop a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. We had, 6,000 views, definitely the most enjoyable so far this season. Certainly more enjoyable than even the first race of the season, which is always pretty hype. But you guys have truly made it a success. So that's, Team 2, Limitless. Team 1, no neg. Team 3, we're raw dogging it. Too late to activate chips, make your transfers. But fair play, you guys. Absolute brilliant stream. And every single one of you guys in the chat makes it all the more worth it. So keep an eye on the weather and the conditions, final fix, how that might play in if you haven't activated a chip. This was one of the latest times I've posted and locked in my team. And it truly has been one of the streams for the ages. So yeah, first hour was a bit slow. Second hour really ramped up. And to be honest, I'd do it all again. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'll let you enjoy qualifying, the sprint race first of all, in peace. The formation lap's well underway, so I'm going to jump across the TV and screen share. But you guys have a wonderful weekend. Throw a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll be back with all my usual content for the next race in Imola. So thanks again for dropping by. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all very soon.